Hello. I'm jumping right in today, guys. I am jumping right in. If you want to make tacos in 20 minutes, you got to start on time. So I have about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm sure I'll repeat this a few times. I have about 3 tablespoons or so of olive oil in my pan. I guess one of the other things I could have called this is one pan tacos, because except for warming up the tortillas, I literally put every single thing in here, which is awesome. I like my flavors to come together. If you've seen any of my shows at all, then you know that everything, well, not everything, but most of the things that I cook with have sofrito. I better put on that fan because I can see those onions are going. So hopefully that won't be too loud. So hello to my people already. All right, so I'm an onion, huge onion fan. So I love, and my kids do too, a lot of cooked onions. If you are not a fan of so many onions, then just don't add them, or just, add much less. As always, I will be posting both the recipe and pictures after the fact right on my Facebook page. But I like a lot of onions. This is a really quick, inexpensive recipe that can honestly be used with any meat. I particularly like, I'm a fan of pork. I get it. Not everybody is. So if pork is not your thing, then substitute it with something else. All right. So 3 tablespoons or so of olive oil. And to that I added about a half of an onion or so, a small to medium onion. And now I'm actually going to add, somebody say something so I know you're here. So now I'm dicing up potato. Now I'm going to tell you something. I don't know. A lot of, and I know this is kind of like not the American way. I suspect that one of the reasons my parents did it, certainly put potatoes in their tacos and in their meat, is because there were a lot of children. We were big families, and potatoes are hearty. So it may seem a little odd to you that I'm adding potatoes, but I promise you that's something that's incredibly cultural. Again, I am positive it has something to do with and also I think about the potatoes is that the potatoes are honestly very filling. And so anytime that you have a recipe that you're making that's filling, it goes a lot further. Hey, Vanessa, how are you, my sweet love? Okay, now, I talk about potatoes a lot because we eat them a lot in my culture. I don't know if you guys are familiar with fingerling potatoes. We're going to probably make something with fingerlings. They're my favorite. They have a little bit less starch. They have beautiful colors. Like there's a red fingerling and a yellow and a wonderful, wonderful purple. Now you want to be careful that you are what they call grade B potatoes. You don't mix with your fingerling, because even though those potatoes are small, it actually takes quite a while to cook them. This is more like a mini russet, but it's still like your typical potato you would make. I'm making Puerto Rican tacos. And literally, someone taught my mom how to make this. And, okay, now, I'm going to tell you the truth. So, I looked up tacos in my Puerto Rican cookbook that I've been using. It wasn't in there. So, I suspect that somebody Puerto Rican decided that they wanted to have some tacos and then started to add all of their Puerto Rican spices, and so this is what we're doing. You don't have to have a tortilla. You don't have to have a flour tortilla. You could do a corn tortilla if you would like. Remember last week we made the Puerto Rican tacos and we used tostones. Definitely you could use the tostones on this again. I'm going to tell you, those are my best favorite nachos I ever had. So far, all we have in here is, now, the surprise thing I think that we do is, I like everything in one container. These are my pinto beans, okay? Now the pinto beans this brand comes with a little bit of a sauce. I'm all right with the sauce. Typically, I like to just have them, they're packed in water, drain the water, and then clean them really good. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. You know, for me, the thing about my beans is I like to be able to wash them off. Hey, Gio, sweet love. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Sunday, by the way. My church is in Illinois, so it's closed, and so I am excited about being with you guys. Okay, now, right to here, you know what I'm going to add, right? Sofrito. Okay, now you can see that's like the Puerto Rican staple. So I told you guys last week, look how much. This is a rather large spoon. See that? That's a pretty large spoon. Be generous with your sofrito. Now, let me tell you how, oh my gosh, if y'all could smell this. Now, yes, I'm going to add some more because I add a lot. I'm going to tell you something. You know, we talk about these potatoes. Let's say that you're going to make pork chops or chicken or something. You can take these potatoes, cut them up, marinate them in olive oil, add a good 3 or 4 tablespoons of sofrito, and marinate those. And then, I'm going to lower this to 3. And then you can cook them right in that olive oil in the pan with the sofrito. So like a potato, like a sofrito potatoes. They are phenomenal. Hey Gary, how are you? Really, really, really good. Okay. All right. So let me recap just so we know. We started with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and then we added about a half an onion. We added 2 small potatoes, and now we've added our sofrito. And we just want this to marinate. We just want this to marry each other, love on each other, give each other caresses and kisses. And okay, so you can see that, right? That is fantastic. That means we are doing something. Guys, let me just tell you something while this is cooking. It was on 4. It has soaked up all the olive oil. I'm gonna come all the way down to 2 just while I get my garlic. Let me tell you about the goodness of God. Can we just talk about the goodness of God just for a minute? God is so good. Let me tell you, I am on the most amazing job right now in the city. We are having a ball. We're doing tile. We are doing massive wall repair. I think we talked about this last week. Major wall repair. We are doing FRP, which is a kind of like a waterproofing wall. Kind of looks like drywall, comes in 4x6 sheets. So we're doing that. Tile, lots and lots of painting, lots of interior design. Oh, we're having so much fun. I was so excited about going to work this morning that I couldn't even sleep. Literally. What am I, like a 3-year-old? I could not sleep last night. I was so excited about going to work this morning. Why do I tell you that? Because I want you guys to know that there is nothing that God doesn't want to bless you with. Absolutely nothing. And I love that He has blessed me with a career that I absolutely adore. And even though I was exhausted driving home today and thinking I wanted to cancel and try to get out of, I'm not gonna lie, I tried to get out of this. You know what I did? I started to pray. Lord, I'm super busy. Do you want me to keep going? Crickets. You know what that means, right? Cricket means I'm not listening to you. So let me tell you something. If you are struggling right now with the Lord, I need some answers. I've been in prayer. I haven't gotten answers. I'm going to give you a tip. Do the last thing He told you to do. And do that thing until He tells you otherwise. So sometimes we try to get out of the thing that the Lord wants us to do. But we need to have electric company. Hey, is that right? That's awesome. Unfortunately, we're not opening. What? Vanessa, I was all excited. Okay, so if you guys want to know what I'm doing, I am just dicing some garlic. Okay? And sometimes if it's hard for me to, now, yes, there is garlic in the sofrito. Yes. But can you have too much garlic? I mean, is there such a thing? All right, I'm going to put in a couple of more tablespoons of olive oil. I like these containers. If you guys don't have one, I love this because it has a drizzle on the end And you get to control your olive oil. So if you don't have one, I got it at Amazon. I think it was like 2 of them for $15 or so. And honestly, you can't go wrong with that. Okay, now I have everything in here. This is looking beautiful. And believe it or not, I am going to add all of my beans. What? Aren't you gonna make meat in there? Yes, I am. All right, so now I'm gonna add my, now, I could have done this a different way, to be honest. Well, here's what I could have done. You see my pork steak? I like pork chops. I love pork steak. It's softer, it's a little tender, it's a little more tender in my opinion. It's a little more fatty, but it gives it more flavor. So I much prefer. Now, here's what I could have done, okay? What I could have done was, I've marinated these. I could have added some olive oil, seared the pork chops on both sides first, then taken them out so that you would have kind of had that nice sear on both sides, and then put all of this in. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in another. Already you can see this looks beautiful. Now, if you're getting ready to say to me, Norma, that looks a lot like, what's that I make all the time? The guisao, that looks a lot like guisao. Yeah, it's similar. Now, here's what I'm going to add that you're going to be surprised. This is where I get to be a little Mexican. You know what a Mexican is? Mom turned me on to this. Normally, I would add tomato sauce to this, and there's nothing wrong with that if you don't have one of these. But Mom turned me on to this rotel. You guys use that? Vanessa, do you use that? It's got a little bit of a kick, just a little bit, but it is delicious. Okay, now, I'm going to warn you. If you are making this for your babies, yes, this has a little tiny bit of a kick, so don't add this. I'm not sure, this is the original, and I'm not sure if they make one that doesn't have the little kick to it, but it does. So, Vanessa, not for you, okay? And I'm going to add about most of the can. Maybe, that's about half, okay? All right, oh my gosh. Guys, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, did you notice something? Did you notice my bare naked face? That's because I barely got home today in time. That's the rubber band from the cilantro, maybe? That's because I barely got home in time today to shower, get the camera and all of that ready to do this for you. Okay, now I'm going to turn this back up to 4. All right, now here's what we're going to do. Now I haven't, except for some garlic, I haven't really seasoned. Now I'm going to take my steak, my pork steak, clear off my counter. There's a bone in here, so we'll just cut it on that bone. All right, get all that garlic off. And then, this has not had long to marinate because, like I said, I was working today. So I just cut it. I want it in a taco. I want enough meat that it feels hearty, but not so much that it feels too heavy. I don't know, maybe like a 1 inch by 1 inch. All right. Now, I haven't added any salt or anything. I could have. I literally have not marinated this with anything except the sofrito. Okay. You look beautiful. Stop. Let me tell you what I did today. Okay, I should post a picture. We did some, like I said, we did some major wall repair at a place that it had, we're redesigning, redecorating, whatever you would call that, 100-year-old synagogue that is now a church on the south side of Chicago. And it had major, major water damage. So now we're in the design phase. It's so much fun. So I got to paint a 17-foot ceiling today black. So now you see all this goodness? I'm not throwing the goodness away. Not throwing any of that goodness away. Now I'm keeping track of time because I promised you 20 minutes. All right, we're about 14 minutes in. That gives us about 6 minutes left. All right, so I'm gonna lid this. There's a bone in there and I'm not gonna bother that for the camera. I can make that off camera. All right, here we go. Now, if anybody makes homemade sofrito, you want to do this. It's again, it's wonderful. It's hearty, super inexpensive. I think this meat right here was maybe, I don't know, $3 or $4. So sofrito is probably, I don't know, I probably have 50 cents worth of sofrito, literally. 50 cents worth of sofrito. I probably have, I don't know, I would dare say that this recipe, you could probably almost serve a family of 4 for less than $15, like really inexpensive. If you get your avocados from a market and you don't get them from the grocery store like I did today, even that's not expensive. So it's one pan, you put everything together. There we go. There you go. Now we would lid this and let that pork cook. Now, if you don't do pork, don't be discouraged. You could do beef. You could probably do a cheaper cut of steak in this, or of beef, I should say, a cheaper cut of beef. I will say though, if you're going to do that, here's the thing you're going to have to remember. It's going to take a little bit longer for the beef to cook to tender. So you don't just want to put any cut of meat in here. You want to have a cut of meat that's organically tender, which is why I probably would not put pork chops in here, because pork chops are a little leaner, and the fact that it's leaner means it's going to take a little bit longer for it to get to kind of like that nice, tender, break in your mouth. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. You guys are not commenting a lot, so all right. That's it. I'm going to go over this recipe one more time. You probably have started with maybe 3. You know what? I'm going to add this entire thing, and then it'll break off the bone. See? Now, again, what did I say? I don't want to let go of any goodness. I'm going to wash my hands. Forgot to get a towel. I'm going to cover this. And that's it. This, okay, so how long was that? 18 minutes? That's it. So now I'm gonna put some toppings together. And when I'm done putting the toppings together, that should be done. We'll put it in a taco and we'll be done. Now there's a lot that you can do in advance, okay? There's a lot you can do in advance, guys. You can cut your meat the day before, cut your potatoes, cut your onions if you'd like. So you can have all of that done. And then you can, actually, you know what? I forgot to season it. You can do that. I know, because remember we said the only thing I have. So again, all the basics. Cumin, oregano, and you know what else I forgot to add? The Puerto Rican staple right here. Can we just say that? Olives. Now, my kids, I love the juice. It adds a wonderful acidity. My kids, I always say this, my kids don't like it. That's fine. I tell them, take them out because I love them and I love what it adds. Oh my gosh. Now, I will definitely add a picture. My God. I wish there was a way that you guys could smell this. It smells amazing. Hey, Lori, Puerto Rican Imani Ross. Yum. Oh my gosh, Imani. It's so good. Now, again, if you don't want to have pork, you can add chicken breast. I will tell you that you be careful with chicken breast. If you're going to use that, make sure you cut your chicken thin. Your more lean meat, your more lean pork, your pork chops, your chicken breast, and most beef is going to be a little tougher. So you want to use that a little bit more fatty, like I said. So if you're going to use chicken and you like dark meat, thighs would be perfect in this recipe. So you could do the beans still, because again, this is a one-pot taco, right? Everything is in. You could even have this vegetarian. So you could skip the meat altogether, or you could add the beans, add the potatoes the way that I did at the beginning, add the sofrito, and then do what's that soy stuff that vegans eat? What's that? You know what I'm talking about. Imani, help me here. No, it's not kale. What is it that vegans eat? You know, it's made from soy. I'm having a brain fart. Clearly, I'm tired today. Olives, yes. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Olives. Will somebody please tell me what it is that vegans eat? It looks like eggs. It looks kind of like egg whites. Tofu. Thank you. Tofu. If you want a vegan version of this, instead of putting the meat, put tofu. There's nothing wrong with tofu. Yes, exactly, Lisa Weems. Tofu. That's perfect. All right, now I know I said 20 minutes, and we're at exactly 20 minutes now. So really, all I need that pork to do is to cook all the way through, and we'll be ready to plate. And that's it, guys. Now, toppers. Puerto Ricans really don't, you know, it's very American. I don't even know what my Mexican friends, I have to ask my Mexican friends, what do they put on their tacos? Cilantro, I love cilantro on my tacos, so that's good, for sure, something I'd like. I'm not really interested in lettuce and tomatoes and like American cheese or sour cream. I like the sour cream, but it has to be the Spanish sour cream. Remember we talked about that last week? And last week we had the crema, remember that was from El Salvador? Guess what? Today we have it. It's crema that's Mexicana. And that's also really, really good. I just prefer them. Both of them are lighter. Both of them have this almost a tangy sweetness, not quite. So that's nearly done. So here's how I like to top mine. Let me grab my top. Now tomorrow for dinner, I have options, okay? I'm either going to make homemade bread. So I'm gonna let you guys vote. Do you want homemade bread tomorrow or do you want Puerto Rican fish? Totally up to you. I gotta see about my schedule, but that's kind of what I'm going for, all right? So homemade bread, and it's literally just a few ingredients. Okay, have you guys seen this cute little doodad my mom gave me? It's like a chopping board and a knife at the same time. How cute is that? All right. So literally, you just chop up your cilantro. So for me, I like my tacos topped with a little bit of cilantro and a little bit of avocado and a little bit of sour cream and nothing else. I'm not going to do kind of like that American thing. I'm not going to do like orange cheese. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. If you like that, by all means. But like I said, you can do this pretty darn quickly, okay? All right, guys. Let's see. I think my tacos are done. Literally. Yeah, that pork cooks that fast. Literally. Okay. This is ready to be plated. Wow. Can you see that? Now, I don't know how accurate the color is. It's quite brown. Okay. I'm going to taste it. Make sure it's all ready. And again, if you want to have some fun with your tortillas, by all means, look, you see my steam in my glasses? If my neighbor's passing by and waving in the window. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. The acidity of that little bit of olive juice takes it up a whole nother notch, guys. Literally. All right. That's it. The potato, nice and soft. Look at this. I have it, look, nice and soft. Can break that with my finger. Again, just add such a heartiness. The way that sofrito comes through. All right. Again, if you want to have a little bit of fun with this, by all means, you can take your corn tacos and you can make them into tostadas. This would be perfect on a tostada. Still plate it the same way, and that's it. I'm going to warm up some tortillas. I'm going to turn this down. If you guys want to see me plate this, I'm happy to plate this. Tofu, Imani says, yes. All right. Oh my gosh. Vanessa, we'll have to talk offline about why the church isn't opening this Sunday. I was excited about going to church in actual person this Sunday, guys, because I miss going to church so badly, but now my cousin is saying that their church is not open. Okay, I'm going to warm these up. I'm actually just going to stick them in the microwave. I normally would not stick them in the microwave, but to keep the show under 30 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. And I want to be able to plate this And I want you to be able to see how pretty it is. Okay? I will again post pictures. This is so good. You guys want to see some of this meat? Look at this. And I'll take my new little doodad so that you can see. Oh, my new little doodad doesn't work for that. Nice and hearty. Nice and hearty. Okay. You turn it off. All right. Let's just plate one. Okay, here we go. Now, I want my meat on here. My beans. Now this is it's quite wet. It will thicken. My potatoes. Okay. I'm gonna take a small bit of the avocado. Place that just like that. Okay, clean up my plate a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of the cilantro, put it right on top. Take a little bit of my sour cream, and I'll put it on. Did you see that? Literally a little. I am not trying to overload this. I just want that kind of little bit of freshness. Very, very light. You see how light I am on this? Okay. Now, it's totally up to you. I particularly like a quick, fast dash of olives. Of lime juice. And there you have it. Puerto Rican tacos. And you know what I never do? I never eat my food on camera. So I'm tired and I'm hungry. Bon appetit. Mmm. 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 Wow. Okay, guys. That is good. There you have it. I will post pictures and I will post the recipe so that you guys have that. I love you. Don't I always say that? Jesus loves you. Find joy today because life is short. Don't focus on the stuff you can't control. Be blessed by the blessings in your life. Count them constantly and count them daily. I love you. Jesus loves you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mwah. Really?